Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we find out how difficult it actually is to maintain the apotheosis mob spawners with minimal mods. Anyways, I hope you guys are ready. So I think my base needs a little bit of work. Currently, we're kind of lacking on a few things, and that is automation. This right here needs to be automated. I need to get this system set up so I can actually handle it. And the best way I think to kill mobs and not produce a ton of experience is probably gonna be Bellthorns. And Bellthorns, probably one. The one, like even just the one we have over here should be plenty. Now, we are gonna need to get some mana over to this direction and get a mana pool over here. Temporarily, I might just drain a little bit of mana from a mana pool and put the mana pool over here because it doesn't use that much mana. It doesn't use it that quickly, and later on we're gonna have easier ways of moving mana. And I kind of want to set it up because I cannot be using these player traps anymore. It's just it's not okay. We cannot do this. The experience is just too much to handle. The item amounts are perfectly fine. And how are we gonna move items around? Well, I want to be able to get them into the hoppers, and the best way I think to do that is going to be to run everything into our central controller here, or into our refined storage system, and to start moving items around with refined storage. It's super simple to do, and the cables can be as long as you want them, as long as they're in loaded chunks and things like that. And we should be able to put everything over here. So I think today we're going to be getting into how to move items around with refined storage, basically. So let's take a look at refined storage and think about some of the things that we are going to need today so we can prep up the items for it. A few things that we're going to need is we're probably going to need some importers and exporters. So we can go ahead and mark those. If you hit A, you can throw them over here. They're kind of hard to see, but they are here. So importers and exporters. That's going to be perfect. We don't need to bother with external storages, even though we should have had one. I thought we had one. I guess maybe it disappeared sometime. But that should be about it. And then just a bunch of cables. Now, if we want to make this process fast, we can of course add some speed upgrades. We can worry about that later. And we might even get into some auto crafting today to be able to make those with just a snap of the fingers. So what are we going to need for these? Well, it looks like they require an improved processor, and this one requires a destruction core, and this one requires a construction core. That means we're probably going to need a few improved processors. I'm going to make 16 of them for right now, if I can. What are we missing? That was oh, that's the quartz. So I'm going to make a few of those. It seems like we're always running out of silicon. But we're gonna need that, and we also need, like I said here, the basic processors, which is what's going to be required for making the destruction and construction core. This is what we're going to use pretty much to move everything around. Now we're also going to need cables. Cables require a lot of quartz and rich iron, but luckily we should have enough. And then we also need to make sure we have enough glass to sustain those cables. But I think we totally should. It definitely shouldn't be too difficult to do. There we go. We just put the right glass in there. And how are we going to move these things around? I guess while we wait for this to do its thing, we can kind of go underground a little bit. And I think the best way to mark a location, so like down here is where we're going to be connecting things. We already have our cable down here, is to set waypoints. So currently this is where this is at. I'm debating on whether or not I actually want to make this all at ground level and just completely remove this thing. I need a bunch of sugar, actually. And my thing keeps consuming all the sugar. So let's get sugar. How much do I have? Is this going to be enough? I don't know. I want to try and get as much of the experience out of here as possible. So there's all the experience. And I'll just throw it in here for right now. All of this needs to be moved, basically. I want to take it one up so the Bellthorns will work, and then also place the ground up one. And then that's where everything's going to be. So that way I can kind of move this whole situation and fill this in so it's not so weird looking like a random drop here. So let's go over here and test something real quick. I want to test if this Bellthorn is actually going to function properly. So right here, I'm going to have my mana pool. I'm going to have my Bellthorn. Now, you could use a Hopper Hawk to collect your items, but in our case, we have an Ender Hopper, which is way faster in my opinion. And that should work. So we have this. This should be linked to this mana pool. And this does have sort of a radius around it. And the best way to kind of visualize that, let's see if we can make it, is the Manna Sears Monocle. This guy right here. We do need a piece of mana glass for this. Not too difficult to get. And this might actually help us, because I hope this is this has a big enough range to allow us to see this. So let's throw this on. And now when we look, we can tell that this is going to be big enough, because this is the range from which it will work and function. And as you can see, it's totally big enough. And even if monsters come out here, it will try to kill them as well. So I don't really need this on all the time, but it's nice to have on you. So this is linked. We need to give it a little bit of mana. I think there's a couple of zombies that have built up in there. So let's throw our mana tablet in there. And you can kind of hear they're already taking a little bit of damage. So I'm going to let this mana pool fill up a little bit. I don't think this, like, I don't remember how much mana this actually consumes, because it might consume a lot of mana for all I know. I don't really have a clue. Also, chest. Let's see. Is my chest piece lingering around somewhere? I don't even remember where my chest piece went. Come to think of it, I need to find that. Oh, that's right. We have it here. Yeah, because I don't need a jetpack. We have the flight. Okay, so our mana is completely drained. Let me go throw this in our mana pool to get that rekindled back up. Because I would really love, like, there's so many cool things you can do with mana as long as you have it. We can even generate mass amounts of power with our mana, which is what I plan on doing, given that we have an automated system for it and making it easy. Like, eventually, like I said, I want to transfer mana over here. We can do that with Sparks. So we just need to get this up and running first. So now that this is ready, let's go ahead and, I guess, replace this. I want to definitely make sure. And I also went ahead and added some drawbridges here. But the problem with the drawbridge is if there's a mob in the way, it actually doesn't close on the mob. So that causes a huge issue because they actually crowd that whole area. So let's make sure we have, let's see if I'm in range. Need a piece of cobblestone, basically. There we go. And that's just to close it off real quick. All right. And then on top, I need to actually place a block. So right here, it actually needs to go down further than that. Let's just go ahead and get down here and place it ourselves. We do need to be careful. So let me go ahead and open this up. The mob grinder goes here. Usually almost spawns them immediately, which is the dangerous part. And then I need to just remove these blocks. Okay. They're ready to go. And they're going to start heading over here. That one, of course, is going to die. That's why I put that there, is to get them to move. And they should be taking damage down here. Now, they shouldn't have a problem. At least I don't think. Yeah, they're dying. Okay. We shouldn't have a problem with experience, though. And I don't know if we need more than one to be able to handle the mass amount that we have here. Go ahead and place our chest, and we'll place our hopper on top to make sure we're collecting the items that are in there. It does seem to be killing them. Just, I don't think it's fast enough. So, like I said, if we need more Bellthorns, we can do that. I just don't know any other good way to just automatically kill them without dropping experience in this pack so far. Like, that'd be nice if we had some other methods, but I don't know what other methods we have. I'm going to place a few more of these. I don't know if that's going to speed the killing up or not. It does seem to be a little bit faster. All right, this is not picking up the items, though. So I might have to drop this down to make sure it picks up the items, because it's not dropping items for some reason. Let's Let's grab this, which takes a minute. I'm sure if I place it down one more, it should be able to pick up items if they are even dropping. I would assume they would drop. Place that there. Place that on top. We need some way to access this. Is it just actually not dropping items? You know what? I don't see any blaze rods. And then I also want to check how fast is this? Okay, so this really isn't moving mana at all, which is good. That should be dropping items. Well, I think we might have to come up with another solution for this. Yeah, that's not dropping items at all. It is dropping Inferium, it's just not dropping blaze rods. Okay. Curious. Okay, I'm really I don't actually know why. This is killing them up here too, isn't it? I don't actually know why it's not working. Huh. Well, that's actually an issue. So maybe we're going to come up with another way. We might have to go back to our normal pads, but I need a better way to consume experience. That's the problem. So I've come up with a much better solution, and that is to try out these damage traps, because these claim to do magic damage, or so it says. And if this doesn't drop experience, this is going to be the way to go. If this kills them without dropping experience and just drops their items, this is the way to go. Okay, it is just damaging them. I'm confused by this. Does it have to be player kills in order to receive the blaze rods? I think it does. I think it does. That is not good. Not good at all. I think I might have figured out what we can do with the experience. The Rose Arcana I knew could generate mana with experience, but I didn't know if it could pick it up off the ground. But looking here in the book, it does say that it can pick it up off the ground. So, and it's also less effective, which is kind of a good thing in my opinion, because I need to just void experience. I need to get rid of it some way, but at least this way it'll kind of be useful. And I hope it's fast enough. Like, we have these mobs building up right now. It's quite insane. As you can see, there's just a lot of mobs. So yeah, I'm thinking, because I can probably get these guys to despawn just by flying away. But what I'm thinking is, by doing so, by doing this whole method, we should be able to use the player trap so it still drops the blaze rods, and then also utilize the experience for the flowers and use that to just in return just fill a mana pool for right now. I think that is going to be a good option. You can see that it did, by flying away, did kind of kill those guys. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing set up. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 Rose Arcanas, and we're going to put those, each one of them is going to be connected to a Manna Splitter, and we're going to see how that works. I hope this works. This is super laggy, but let's open this up and see if the experience is gathered. Oh man. This is super laggy. Botania. Link. Oh gosh. Link. Maybe I should be picking up the mana. Oh, the experience. For right now. I don't know if these are going to be able to work. Oh, man. This is a lot. There it goes. It finally got better. Like, I need to figure out something. By the way, does this give me... I don't want to do it. We'll end up having a raid here for some reason. All right, let's drop this now. Put that there. That on top, so it's collecting all the items. Okay, good. Now, is the experience, is it going to be consumed by these, or... Okay, these need to be linked to the Manna Spreaders. Now that will work. Now is that consuming the experience quick enough? These Manna Spreaders might not be enough. That's the problem. You can see these are full. Okay, so it is working. Wow, that's actually... That's a lot of mana that's generating. Way more than I thought it was going to. But it does seem to be kind of working. Even though there is experience being caught up over there. I want to see the Manna Seat with the Monocle. I want to see how big of a range. Oh, that's why. So, for this to work properly, yeah, this would need to be maybe back one more. The flowers need to be. These just aren't, they don't have a very big range. And these guys gotta go. Let's grab some milk. I'm gonna kill them. It should work for right now. There is gonna be some experience being caught up in the back area. I'm gonna figure that out. That's gonna be something that I'm going to definitely need to do if this is going to actually work properly. Because right now, not able to function properly. As you can see, it's not big enough. Maybe pushing them one more back, but that's still not going to be a big enough range when it just sits here, idle. Unless there's a player nearby. After all of this trial and error, I think I have a solution. So I went ahead and used these these plates, the vector plates, to push them this way. So that way most of the experience ends up over here and out of the way. So that way these flowers can pick them up. And I went ahead and made 2 more Rose Arcanas. And it seems to be handling everything just fine. Of course, these are going to be constantly filling. I almost think that I could have a Manna Spreader per Rose Arcana, and that would actually be just as good as this mana generation over here, if not better. This is kind of insane, the sheer amount of experience I'm getting from this. And just, yeah, it's ridiculous. But we're also generating all of this stuff. So, as you can see here, this is what we want to be capturing. And we spent all this time trying to figure out how to get this fixed. That we totally forgot about getting all of our other stuff done. So luckily I have all my processors, everything ready to go. Let's just go ahead and dump all of this. Let's see. I might even separate with some more mana. I do have an extra Elven Manna Spreader. Let's see. Throw our Bellthorns in here. So let's just go ahead and get these things made. We need our importer, right? Let's go ahead and get a destruction core. So I'm going to need 2 exporters, right? Because these are going to export out of the system. This is going to import into the system. So we need 1 importer, and that's going to be the one that goes on that chest that we were just at. So we should be able to throw this together. There's 1. Bam, we have an importer. Now we need 2 exporters for this setup. So 2 exporters should be just fine. And then the other thing that we're going to need is just cables, right? Now the good part about having all of these different things or about having this map app, or the map mod that we have, is that we can set waypoints, and it makes it really easy for us to traverse and find exactly where we need stuff to be. So right down here is where I want my cable to be, so I can open up our map by hitting Y, waypoints, and I can add so chest, and we can turn it aqua, confirm, and now you see it's a chest there, and that pretty much just lets us be able to get to that area much faster. I don't know where all that sound's coming from. So yeah, we're able to travel. You can see right over there is where we need to be. And this is all going to be for cables anyway, so we can just bridge over. hoping that we don't leave any open space, but we will be having these lights placed in here automatically for us. All right, so this, we've hit some water that was underground. Luckily, we have this to be able to get us right where we need to go. Look at that. It's automatically freezing the water. Love it. All right, so right about here seems to be exactly where we're supposed to be. And yeah, we're just going to head that way. And we already hear everything working. And there we go. So we need to put the importer on this. And that is going to be automatically pulling everything out of this chest once we get it connected to our system. So now I need to run the line. Like I said, if the lights are in the way, just break them as you go. Did not mean to place that one. And yeah, we're just going to connect all this up. And then I'm going to connect to this line, another new line that is going to run to the exporters that's going to run to our hoppers. So how we're going to end up connecting these is with our exporters. Going to go right here, connected right on it. And this is where we're going to go ahead and grab some of this. Now you see it is being pulled out very slowly, and that's a good thing. We don't want it going incredibly fast. Yeah, that could pose a problem. So what we're going to do is make sure that a blaze rod is set in our filter for our exporter. And this is going to slowly pull out blaze rods once we get everything connected. Now, of course, I still don't have everything connected. I have to run my cables over. And I'll go ahead and actually hop down in here. Because this is where, I think it's one more down, I actually need to go. In order for me to reach exactly where the rest of our stuff is at. Which should be right under here. And voila, we're connected. So yes, I'm going to run this cable all the way back. And when we connect it up here, everything's connected. We should get exactly that. You can see it's already starting to fill right there as it's being used. And then same is going to go for this one. It is going to also have blaze rods pulled out. Very cool. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if Refined Storage has its facades in here. I don't remember. Interface fluid. Yeah, I don't know if its facades are actually in here or not. They might be hidden, actually. Because I remember they... Basically, I think you surround them with cable, a block. Now, a way we can check is going to the JEI config here. If it would actually let us open it, which it's not. Curious. But anyways, normally you'd open that up and you'd be able to see, but I don't remember how the facades were made. I was thinking it was like a block surrounded by cable. Like any block surrounded by 4 cable, but that's not the case. Definitely not the case. And you would have every recipe in here if that was true. I might need to check that out. Let me do a check. So yeah, it looks like it is a part. I do remember there being its own, or having its own separate covers, but it does seem to be the case that it's not really showing up here. Now, one thing I am noticing is a little bit of experience is actually being spilled out of this area. And what I need to do is actually just cover that up. We can do that with just some stone brick and fill it in just right here at the bottom. And that should kind of cover up a lot of what we're seeing. But for right now, it does look like it is consuming the experience, and it's consuming it really fast. So one way we can get around this is with a Manna Splitter. And this is probably going to be something that we have to make because, yeah, we need to separate our experience at this point. So Living Rock is going to be much used here. And we need to make 3 mana pools. We're going to set our Manna Splitter right here. And then we are going to reroute these guys to the top of the Manna Splitter if we can. I don't know if it's going there or not. It may not be able to reach. It looks like it is probably too low. So we might have to knock this down to the ground a bit. You know what? I don't really care if I dump this mana. This mana pool, I mean, we're going to be generating it so quickly. Actually, I kind of don't want to dump this mana pool. Alright, let's go ahead and take this. And do exactly what I was saying I needed to do. Which was drop this down. You could be like, oh, why don't you just raise these up? Well, that poses another problem all in itself. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, grab the mana pool, place it down here, and yeah, we're going to exchange this. It's probably going to suck my tablet in, isn't it? Guarantee it. It does. So yeah, this is going to be a bit harder. I think I'm just going to destroy it. You guys are going to be like, oh, that's mana. But it's got to go. It's got to go. This has to be a bit lower, unfortunately. And we are going to still... Everything's still going to be the same. It's just that it's going to separate, basically splitting it into 4 mana pools. I hope this connects without going into the ground. There it goes. Perfect. So that works. And then we just use slabs to make it look a little bit nicer if we want. Like some of these dark slabs, I think actually look pretty good. So I'll slab this area up. It doesn't look so bad. At least in my opinion, it doesn't. And there we go. So we have mana being generated. I don't know why this guy, I guess because everything else is taking up all the experience. We're kind of only using 3 of them, which is good. And yeah, it's definitely filling these up. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think we found another way to generate mana really quickly. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this crazy mess of a video where we just did all kinds of craziness to get these things automated. And now they are. So we also need to probably add a splitter to that one so we can send mana to other pools as well. I think we're going to start working with some sparks and getting some things moving around so that way we can have better gear, get ourselves some Terrasteel armor, which looks so sick. But anyways, guys, I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please don't feel free to leave a comment down below and also click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Guys, I hope to see you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.